iPlayer.
Getting time off his stretch in EastEnders for good behaviour. But don't expect any of that now on BBC One. With some strong language and Danny Dyer in the driving seat, this could be a bit of a wild ride.
Good evening, welcome to Have I Got News For You? I'm Danny Dyer, and in the news this week, at the end of a champagne wedding reception, as the groom attempts a shortcut to the honeymoon suite, the bride realises she may have to find something else to do on her wedding night.
Get it! Woo!
That's made my eyes water, that is. In Islington, sick of taking abuse from taxi drivers, Jeremy Corbyn adopts a disguise for his commute to Parliament. And on Royal Walkabout, the Queen hears that Meghan and Kate won't be spending Christmas at Sandringham. On Ian's team tonight is a tennis coach who spent hundreds of thousands of pounds getting her two sons to Wimbledon. That's black cabs for you. Please welcome Judy Murray. And with Paul tonight is a comedian, feminist, vegan and supporter of Jeremy Corbyn. So if anyone's in from the Daily Mail, get yourself home now. Please welcome Sara Pascoe. And we start with the biggest stories of the week. Ian and Judy, have a little pipe at this.
Geoffrey Cox, the Attorney General. That isn't him.
Pantomime. Is that the space agency thing?
That's the space agency.
We're crashing and burning Brexit.
Yeah, that's one of the options.
Yeah, this is the news. It's all been kicking off in Parliament this week. The government suffered 3 defeats in a row, so, you know, send in Sam Allardyce, you know, old Big Nut. Any football fans in? Obviously not.
Why Sam Allardyce?
Well, he always comes in when they're going to get relegated, the football team, saves the team, and then he gets sacked. It's usually the case, yeah. They call him Big Nut because he's got a massive head.
Is that right?
Yeah, massive it is.
It's fascinating.
Who's been giving Theresa May the most egg?
Sam Allardyce, Big Nut.
Well, I mean, it's take your pick, really. The deal she's proposing is opposed by nearly everybody now. And actually, I don't know, by the time you watch this, maybe she's opposing it now as well.
When the legal advice was published on Wednesday, what was all the fuss about?
Well, the DUP got very, very cross, which isn't news. They just do. They get up, they're really cross, and said this means that Northern Ireland is not like the rest of Britain, which it isn't. It's got plenty of its own rules and its own laws, same-sex marriage, abortion, libel. I mean, why can't they be different in this too? Anyway, that's just a view. They'll probably get very cross again. So they may give up supporting the government.
So the £1 billion she bribed them with, they'll be giving that back then?
Apparently they won't.
No. The Brexit spokesman, Sammy Wilson, said, no, we won't be giving it back.
But it's an accent made for crossness, isn't it, really? I'm having a lovely time. This is the best Christmas I've ever had.
The Northern Ireland backstop might leave us trapped in a relationship that we can't get out of. That's no fun. Just ask Phil and Sharon.
Oh, no, it's EastEnders.
It's an EastEnders, yeah.
No, we EastEnders.
Oh, I forget how highbrow this fucking show is. Did you see what Michael Gove said to Andrew Marr on Sunday? It was suggested that the French Prime Minister had Michael Gove over a barrel.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
No,
Any pictures?
Let's hear what he said.
President Macron just last Sunday
made it clear that he didn't like the backstop because he would not have access to our territorial waters.
But he was
what
going
goes
to
for
force
France
us to
goes
give
for
that.
all those countries.
He had us over a barrel. He thought
No,
he would
he
eventually
doesn't.
force
He
us
doesn't
to give
have
that.
us over a
He's
barrel.
got us
Andrew.
over a fish barrel.
No, he doesn't have us. We've got him over a barrel of herring and a barrel of mackerel.
And this is EastEnders?
Oh, yeah.
I'm surprised you get any viewers.
The Dominic Grieve Amendment, what's that all about?
I'm getting the impression
Good,
that
isn't it?
Ian's been trapped in the back of a black cab with some bloke. I've seen you. What's that all about?
Go on, Eve.
It's about if Mrs May loses this vote, then will Parliament be allowed to say what happens next, or will the government be allowed to do whatever it likes, i.e. represent the withdrawal bill? And the amendment went through, and it means that Parliament will regain control over the process. But that's a problem for some people, because if Parliament has control, which is largely Remain, then will Parliament enact something that is against the will of the people, as expressed in the plebiscite? You're with me.
Never all
you
mind
have
that,
a
mate.
clash.
Which Terminal Leaf Road do you want? Which one is it?
So anyway, it's very important and incredibly exciting.
Well, according to the Times, if Theresa May's deal was rejected, it allows all MPs a chance to put forward their proposals as to what course the government shall take next. So, yeah, that's only 650 different opinions. They're going to crack right through that in no time whatsoever. What happens next?
What now?
Well, yeah. Well, the European Court of Justice, that we're all supposed to be ignoring after Brexit, has decided we can call the whole thing off if we want.
Yeah, we could just withdraw. Article 50, we can just cancel it.
So the Bank of England says that the weekly shop could go up by a cockle a week. Ian, do you know what a cockle is? It's a Cockney one.
Cockle, it's like a mussel.
No, it's a cock and hen slang.
Sorry.
It's 10, it's a tenner. And
Well, everyone's cost of living going up 10 quid.
Yeah, and I'm already stockpiling pies, fags and penicillin, so... come round me lock-up, I'll sort you right out. This is Brexit and another week of uncertainty as we all try to guess what will happen next. One constitutional expert says the Queen may be forced to intervene as the battle between the two rival factions becomes more vicious and spiteful, and once she's sorted out Meghan and Kate, she can try and sort out Brexit. Paul and Sarah.
Yeah.
Have a little pipe at this.
OK.
Oh, yeah, I love her. Ada Hegerberg, Golden Ball.
Yes, very good footballer.
Oh, it's a sexy guy. Oh, she's had enough. It's about the Ballon d'Or. Is that, I'm mispronouncing it, but...
You're asking the wrong man about mispronouncing it.
Oh, we're in trouble.
Yeah, no, this is the news
Yeah.
that the world's best footballer awards have been overshadowed by a sexism row. Norway's Ada Hegerberg won the award for the world's best female footballer, at which point she was asked if she knew how to twerk by DJ Martin Solveig. Let's have a look at the moment it happened.
J'ai préparé une petite célébration pour Kylian, qui a super bien joué le jeu. Et on s'est dit qu'on allait faire un truc un peu comme ça. Est-ce que tu sais twerker?
Non.
OK, alors on a choisi quelque chose d'autre.
I mean, why would you have a DJ presenting it? You know, where's Pat Sharp when you need him, eh? What was particularly bad about the timing of this?
If he'd asked her something like to floss, like a popular dance, it would have been a funny, like, oh, and they could have done it. But unfortunately, he asked her to twerk, which no one's done for 3 years.
Yeah.
And it's a very, very sexual dance. And she's the first woman ever to win this prize in football. And so it's just awful mistiming that then gets blown up like it's a big row.
The Ballon d'Or's been running since 1956, but this is the first year
yeah.
they've given an award to female footballers.
Yeah.
Well, he could have asked her about her brilliant football or how she felt about winning the award. And instead, he asked her how to twerk.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, is that he danced with the male winner, and so he was just saying, we're going to dance as well, do you know how to twerk? That moment was a celebration, and they did dance afterwards. It's just so unfortunate that it can be pulled out into this one moment where he actually just thought he was being trendy, I think. Sorry, I know I seem like I'm defending the misogynist.
Martin Solveig came in for a lot of criticism for his remark, and how did he respond?
He said sorry, didn't he? Yeah, he said he was joking.
Yeah, no, he did apologise. He tried to weasel out of it by saying, this comes from my distortion of English and my English culture level, which is obviously not enough, although he'd actually been speaking in French. Who stuck his bloody oar in? Go on.
I think I know this. It's your son, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's said you would never have asked the male winners. You'd have asked them only about football. I agree with you. I think it was blown out of proportion, and it's trendy to be indignant about things, isn't it now? And it's what makes
Are
headlines.
you sure? I remember Sue Barker asking him to do Gangnam Style. It definitely happened one Wimbledon.
He'd never know what that was.
Nor do I, but I just thought I'd say it.
Andy said, another example of the ridiculous sexism that still exists in sport. Why do women still have to put up with that shit?
Oh, really? Did he have to? Was he brought up in a barn?
I'll have a word.
And to everyone who thinks that people are overreacting, it was just a joke, and it wasn't. So, strong words.
I think it's very similar to when men tell women to smile. And it's what people call, like, you know, like a microaggression. Men never tell each other to smile in the way they tell women to.
We're learning, though, aren't we?
When you say that, smile.
I don't know, people tell me to cheer up, you bastard.
But to be fair, we're not talking about your immediate family. This is people that you might see in the street, you know?
Oh, sorry, yes, sorry.
Back to football. How did a dog save a goalkeeper's blushes during a match this week? Let's have a look.
Oh.
It's brilliant, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's brilliant. And it's where's the dog going? It's almost like it's just stopped and gone, boom, I'll save that. See you later, mine, there you go, wouldn't you? Ta-da. Yeah. I mean, where's he going? That's what I want to know.
Going to check his pools coupon. That is a 0-0 draw.
In other news, why have there been complaints at Ted Baker this week?
The man who owns Ted Baker insists on hugging.
Yeah. Kelvin?
Yeah, the chief executive of Ted Baker, Ray Kelvin. He's been accused of making sexual innuendos towards employees, stroking people's necks.
Yeah.
Talking about his sex life and, on one occasion, taking off his shirt in the open plan office.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Telegraph also reported that Kelvin, he's got a hugging spot close to his desk in Ted Baker's open plan office. I mean, let's have a look at it. Look,
They're very pleased with themselves about it.
Yes, they do, yes.
Yeah.
Better than having a wanking spot, I suppose.
That's a bright side, isn't it?
I mean, I've said
You're out of order!
So at the end of that round, 2 points each.
Yeah, lovely.
Well done, partner.
Lovely.
It's all you.
Just talking to my coach.
You need to up your game.
I do, you're right.
I'm not a fan of losing.
This is genuinely terrifying.
You should have made that clear before the show started.
I asked to be in your team.
Did you?
Oh!
I didn't.
You're meant to coach me to be better, not just pick the winner.
And so to round 2, picture spin quiz.
Yeah.
Fingers on the buzzers, teams.
Oh. Is this about Peter, the organisation? And they put out something on social media saying that people were using aggressive language towards animals, and they kind of changed all the phrases to make them more acceptable.
Yeah, the answer is that the rise of veganism could lead us to use fewer phrases that refer to meat or animal suffering.
Yeah.
I think it was an academic, actually, who just said it will change. Because language changes over the years, and the more people that go vegan, the more these phrases will disappear.
What sort of expression?
Well, it's something like bring home the bacon could become bring home the bagels.
Yeah, just bring home the bagels.
Unless you live with Jeremy Corbyn, of course.
It's also a thing
Well, animal charity PETA have released a list of alternative vegan-friendly phrases, so should we have a little quiz?
Yeah,
They're quite silly, aren't they?
Yeah, well, let's have a little quiz over it. Fingers on the old buzzers.
Yeah.
What should...
It's all right, I've got my finger on the buzzer.
What should be...
I'm there.
Good.
Have you got the temperament for big match competitions?
Obviously not.
What should the phrase taking the ball by the horns be replaced with?
Taking the ball to the cinema on a nice date.
Taking the orchestra by the horns.
Hey!
Nice. No, it's taking the flower by the thorns. How lovely.
That's a stupid idea.
Next one, more than one way to skin a cat.
More than one way to drown a cat.
Yeah. loads of...
Not better, is it?
Yeah.
No.
It's more than one way to peel a potato. I mean,
There isn't.
that's what I'm saying.
You have to peel it with a peeler.
How many ways are there to peel a potato?
One.
Go on, last one. Flogging a dead horse. This is a strong one, isn't it? Flogging a dead horse.
Kissing a live cow.
Yeah. Or kissing the dead horse, CPR, bring it back to life.
Yeah.
It's feeding a fed horse. But, you know...
Feeding a fed horse?
Yeah, well, I
Why
mean,
doesn't need feeding?
No, I mean, why would you feed a fed horse? It's cool, it'll end up diabetic or something. The horse,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
The horses are diabetic. Well done.
You've got to be careful. You're one of this vegan mob. You don't agree with all this, do you?
No, I'm a renegade. I was kicked out of the vegan society for not being hardcore enough. So I know what they're like. I do know.
How does Judy Casamit-Jana want vegans to be better protected?
Protected from their own personalities. I know. I'm going to get so many angry emails.
Well, he's mounting a legal challenge as he wants veganism to be treated like a religious belief.
Oh, God. It's just what you have for dinner, though, isn't it? That's the thing.
In other news, according to a new survey this week, 27% of us think that being vegan means you can't eat fruit.
Oh, because of vegetables.
Well, it's funny, because most of them look like they've been sucking on a lemon, don't they? not you.
No, that's all right. That's all right.
What has Nigel Canning put in his homemade advent calendar to stem the vegan tide? It's meat pies.
In a calendar?
Oh, yeah.
So they're 24 days old at Christmas Day?
Well, this week Nigel unveiled the special calendar he'd made up for his girlfriend, Nikki.
That warms my heart. I do think that is the spirit of Christmas. Like, you do something that's the person you're doing it for is absolutely going to love so much. She's so happy.
He said she was actually a bit baffled by it. He told the son. She pulled it out and said, what the hell is this? Adding, she has no fondness of pies. I just hope she didn't take it the wrong way. How has a Christmas display on the Isle of Man been causing a stir?
That's actually illegal on the Isle of Man.
You got Ted Baker in the background.
I think it's what Ted Baker would have wanted, didn't you? Fingers on the buzzers, teams.
Well, I don't know what the question is, but it's obviously President Bush at one of the sort of G20 meetings. Trump,
Yep,
sorry,
yep.
Trump.
He's looking well for a man who died.
Yeah, President Trump has been at G20.
Yeah, it was very spicy. How did Putin and Mohammed bin Salman...
This lot are all queuing up to give Mohammed bin Salman a high five.
How did they greet each other?
Yes,
Like Putin.
This was quite bad, wasn't it, really?
Like old pals. Look, have a look at this, look.
Hey, you got away with murder too.
Yeah, look at Trump, look, in the background, look like a jilted lover. Look at him, look. How did Trump embarrass himself at the conference?
He turned up.
He signed the wrong bit of an agreement, which led to much enjoyment from other leaders.
They should have just put the climate change one, and
Yeah.
you could just say, yeah.
How did Justin Trudeau upset Trump by calling him what?
Is it Donald?
Yeah, it was his Christian name, wasn't it?
They don't like it,
Address
does he?
him by his proper name.
Let's have a look at it, look.
And Donald, it's all the more reason why we need to keep working to remove the tariffs on steel and aluminum between our countries.
You just call him Donald constantly.
President Duck is the original.
There's some more Cockney rhyming slang.
Yeah. The safe one. Who did Prince Charles run into at George H.W. Bush's funeral this week?
Donald Trump didn't want to meet him, did he?
It was a bit awkward as Charles had snubbed Donald Trump in July when he was in the UK for a state visit, and Trump was keen to avoid Charles as he didn't want to lecture on climate change. I don't know if you've seen my Who Do You Think You Are, but us royals, you know, we're a passionate mob. I don't know why you're laughing, I am royal.
What royal are you related to? Is it the King's Head in Islington?
King's Head, yeah.
The Queen's Arms. The Queen's Vic, of course. Queen's Vic. Could have said that.
Good boozer, though, to be fair.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, King Edward III, you know, that great medieval king.
Oh, yeah.
I got his blood, apparently.
Have you?
Yeah.
On eBay, was it?
Yeah.
Has it changed your life? Has it changed how you
No one's
think about
acknowledged
yourself?
it at all, you know. And it winds me up slightly.
Did you not go to the weddings?
Well, no, because I'm obviously like their embarrassing cousin. They want nothing to do with it. So, this is the G20 summit, which officially opens with someone bursting in and shouting, "Summit's up!" According to the Daily Mail, until Vladimir Putin arrived, Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince bin Salman had been cutting a loan figure, although he usually leaves that job down to his secret police, doesn't he? Well, I know. Yeah. Now it's time for the odd one out round. Just one between you this week. Blackbeard. Preschool children in London, Claire Perry MP and Bungle the Chow Chow.
I'm going to say it's the baby because I think there's Blackbeard with his hair on fire, looking really vicious and unhappy. There's Claire Perry, who's being slammed about the food banks. And there's Bungo the Chow, who's bitten the police officer, and he got arrested. Yes, he did. He got arrested, and then there was a campaign, wasn't there, on Facebook or something to get him released. So the only one who actually looks happy is the baby, who's smiling, and the others all look a bit sad.
Nearly, but no.
I think the odd one out is Blackbeard. He has this terrible reputation.
Yes.
Not really based on any proof. If he bit someone, she was shouting at people, and there was a thing about how toddlers are much more badly behaved. They're all naughty, apart from Blackbeard.
Who's not naughty?
They thought he was naughty, but he wasn't.
Bang on. They've all been accused of bad behaviour, except for Blackbeard, the pirate who, contrary to legend, was very, very well behaved.
I like Judy's answer. Did we get nothing for it? We're 6-3 down.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, it's only the first set, yeah.
But why was Blackbeard the pirate not as scary as we thought?
He's fictional.
No, he's real.
He's real.
Edward Teach.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, that's right, yeah.
He tried to make people scared about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's absolutely no evidence he ever killed or hurt anyone. This is according to Colin Woodward. He's a pirate historian. So he must have a lot of archives. Sorry, come on. Let's do one of them. Blackbeard terrified other ships' captains into surrendering simply because he looked so scary.
Yeah.
He's also into a bit of ear vaping. Look at him, look.
He's got a couple of guns as well, though, isn't he? Unless they're hot dogs. or two amorous worms making their way up his shirt.
What have preschool children in London been doing to upset people?
Is this anything to do with potty training?
No.
There's a lot of them that get sent off to nursery and they've not been potty trained.
Yeah, their parents haven't done the basics.
Yeah.
So many of them turn up not fluent in Latin.
Ridiculous.
Researchers at the University of Liverpool have found 2-year-olds from London were the least likely in the country to use the words thank you and sorry. As one Times reader pointed out, Londoners do seem rude, judging by EastEnders. Fuck off. But why was Bungle, the Chow Chow, accused of bad behaviour?
He bit a police officer. He's only 4 months old. He didn't know any better.
He was found under a lorry on the A508. I've had a few nights like that. When the police tried to rescue him, Bungle, he nipped the officer twice on the hand and on the arm, and as a result was detained for a maximum of 9 months under the Dangerous Dogs Act.
It's just a baby. It didn't know any better, and these guys are trying to get him out, and they just do what comes naturally, and if we lose him,
The insights into your child rearing.
Why has Energy Minister Claire Perry been accused of bad behaviour?
So I thought with her, I thought she was in trouble for how she was speaking to people in terms of shouting.
Yep, she's facing an internal investigation for shouting and swearing at her civil servants. And she also allegedly once wrote on a memo produced by her staff, "What's this shit?" Claire, that's the withdrawal agreement, my love. Time now for the Missing Words round, which this week features as its guest publication Ghost Hunter's favourite haunted magazine. Ooh. I never order it, you know, it just appears in my letterbox. And we start with, there's nothing ghost hunters like more than what?
Is it finding ghosts?
Consider it foreplay.
Dying and haunting the people who didn't believe them.
Is it Greg's? I'm looking for advertising work.
It's a haunted pub.
Oh, yeah?
Ah.
Yeah. This is an article from Haunted Magazine about pubs being the best location for a ghost hunt. If you want to see the undead, just go to Weatherspoons for breakfast. Next, police dog has remarkable talent for what?
Oh, balancing a sausage on its nose. It's something weird like that. That's
She's
what it
good,
is.
isn't she? Bang on. It's balancing sausages on its nose, yeah?
Yes!
Oh, she's good.
Swooped right in there.
Yeah, this is the pride of Northumbria Police, Crush, the sniffer dog. Let's have a look at him in action. Brilliant, this is.
Oh, angel.
Who's glued his paws to the chair, though?
Crush, the police sniffer dog. He's a Dutch shepherd. It's just like a German shepherd, but with a more liberal attitude to drugs. And finally, even before planning this issue of Haunted, I knew we'd be doing an article on what?
Psychic phenomena.
Ooh.
Second sight.
ESP.
Whether death is preferable to Brexit.
It's premonitions. I bet no one saw me hosting this. So, the final scores. They are Paul and Sarah on 7 and Ian and Judy on 9. But before we go, there's just time for the caption competition. Have a bit of this.
The cast of Murder on the Orient Express find out there's a rail replacement bus.
It's this year's Rees-Mogg Christmas card.
And I leave you with news that after the O2 network goes down, Theresa May's team do their best to keep her in touch with the latest developments. At the G20 summit, the world's most cunning murderer contest gets down to the last 2. And to his horror, one man realises this is the worst possible moment to have an erection. Good night.
Comedian Louisa Oberland and her BBC Three programme All About Politics is online now for you to watch. No, I'm not saying that word. And the award-winning comedy impression show Dead Ringers is available to listen to. Download the BBC Sounds app.